Welcome back. So now we'll be taking this section and transforming it. This is what we have on our own side for now. Okay, this is what we have now. We just have the image and the accordion from Bootstrap. Everything is not looking good. So let's pick that. Okay, so for the Bootstrap accordion, or let me see the section. I think I gave it. Let's see what we gave it. Where? Okay, all right. This is the new section here that we are dealing with. This is where it begins from. We give it an ID of collapse. Inside of it, we have, okay, how many divs do we have? Okay, we have two divs. So the first div and the second div, they both have the class name of drop down. So whatever style applies to drop down should affect both of them. So we're picking drop down here, class of drop down. Just like the initial one, we gave each of them a width of 50%. We want them to share. We want both of them to share the page from left to right. We're giving it an height of 100%. Okay, 100%. And that's of the collapse. Remember the collapse? I didn't talk about the collapse, sorry. We first wrote a style for the collapse section. Everything is inside this section with an ID of collapse. So for the collapse section, just like every other sections, width of 100%. This time around, we give it an height of 100 VH. And then background color of something that looks like, it's not white, it looks kind of creamy. And I think let's see, I think I got that from here. Yeah, that's what they have here. So I inspected, and from my dev tool, I was able to inspect and pick the color they used. It might not be totally exactly, but it's very similar. So the background color for that section, and I said the display property, direction to flex direction to row, justify content center. So everything is going to be at the center like this one. Can you see both of them? There is space here, there is space here. So they are both meeting at the center. That is done for the section. Now for the divs inside, we gave each of the divs 50%. We gave them height of 100%. That is the exact height of the parent. And the parent is taking 100 VH. So each of them is also taking 100 VH. Exactly 100% height of the parent height. Now we're setting the display of each of these divs also to flex. And let's see what we have with the original. Okay, flex. This one is also set to flex. And justify content center. So I save that. And when I refresh, we should have something close. Not totally, but something close. Refresh the page. Okay, it's loading. Come on, come on, come on. All right. Okay, now we have something similar, but it's quite messed up right now. Okay, the images, the div, this is one div. It's taking 50%. Inside it, there's an image. We need to resize the image. The second div, we have the accordion from Bootstrap. It's even overshooting. We need to adjust the width as well. But we have our H1 here. So this is the first div, and this is the second div. So we need to adjust the size of this image in the first div and adjust the size of this accordion from Bootstrap in the second image. Aside that, it's still working. Wow. So when you open, it gets expanded. I mean, Bootstrap is quite something. So let's add more styles to it. So the image, I'm giving it a border radius of 15 pixels. I want to make it round. I want to give it rounded, curved borders. Width of 80%, height of 60%. So the width is going to take 80% of this old div. The div starts from here and ends here. So this image is going to take 80%. So probably if it's going to be from here to probably somewhere here, 80% should be somewhere here. The height is 60%. Apparently, let's see the height of the div. Okay. So we want this image to take just 60%. That is a little above average. Average is somewhere here. So 60% should be somewhere here. So we need the image height to be probably from here to the top, and from here to somewhere here. This should be 80%. That's what we've just done. And of course, I gave it space at the margin top, and at the we gave it margin top and margin left. So I don't want it kissing the beginning of the section. It's just glued to the top. So I want it to shift the margin top to come down a bit, just like theirs. Can you see that there is some, because of its occupying, we can't even see the background color of the section again. So we want some margin top here and margin left here. Okay, so I would do, we've added that already in our CSS. So let's refresh for the image. The image should be looking more reasonable now. Okay, it's looking reasonable now. Now we can see some space here, some margin here and here. Now let's deal with this second div as well. So the class of drop down, end of type 2. Let's see. Let's look at our drop down. Okay, drop down. They both have the same class actually. So they both have the same class, but the second one, end of type 2, this is the first one, end of type 1, second div. That one is the one that contains the that contains the accordion. So end of type 2, margin left of 5 minus 5m. We want it to shift a bit to the left. Aside that, I'm going to add more properties. The h1 inside of it, that's this guy here. Why choose WhatsApp? Okay, width of 100%. I want it to spread out, to take control of the whole div. Align, text align, set to center. Font size 3m. Font weight 400. Margin top 2m, because apparently it's too much glue to the top. We want it to also come down a bit. So we want some space above. That's margin top of 2m. And we also want margin bottom of minus 1m. Minus 1m is, it should remove some space. We don't want, normally 1m should give more space, but minus 1m should be, it should shift this guy here, this accordion, closer to it. So let's save currently and see what we have to the h1. Refresh. All right, it's currently aligned to this image. It might not be totally exactly, they actually are using different fonts, and I didn't really want to bother about fonts for now. So we just use I'm just using the font I have available on my laptop. I could actually fetch font from Google Fonts, but not necessary for now. So it is the space between here and here is closer, but we need to now deal with this accordion itself. So accordion example, ID of accordion example. Let's see what that is. All right, this is the whole accordion now. We have the h1. After the h1, the whole accordion, I gave it an ID. Can you see? Sorry. This is the whole accordion now. It's inside a div from Bootstrap. It came with a Bootstrap class, but I don't want to touch it. So I give it my own ID of accordion example. So every style I write would affect the example. Now I'm giving it a width of 85%. That is, I don't want you to try and occupy the whole of the div. Remember, the div should probably stop somewhere here. The second div starts from here to the right, and I don't want this guy to even overshoot it. I want some more space. Apparently it's taking about over 100, and there is some padding here. That's why it shifted and is overlapping this div here. So I'm giving it a width of 85% this time around. Font size, remember we have text inside. All this text now, want to adjust, want to make it bigger. Font size of 1.2m. Opacity of 0.8. Apparently it's set to color black, but if you look at theirs, it's bigger, but it's not as dark as this one here. So it's not as dark as this h1. So I reduce the deepness of the color through opacity, and then I give it a font family, and opacity of 1. That's probably a mistake. Automatically this would override this one. Actually, this will override this one here, would override this one. So this one is no longer functional, and I guess I didn't take note of that. That was one of those mistakes, many mistakes that I'm just noticing now. So let's save for now and see. If I'm actually giving it this one, then the opacity will not work, because this would actually, setting opacity to 1 is not going to do anything. Actually, when you set opacity to 0, it is totally transparent. The more you increase the opacity figure, the more it returns back to its original state. So by the time you get to 0.9, it is just slightly transparent. But when you get back to 1, like I have here, it is no longer transparent. So I guess this was a mistake. I shouldn't have added this opacity 1 here, but I'll just leave it like that so as not to tamper with what I have already. So I save. Let's look at what happens to our accordion. Refresh the page, and now it is kind of a little more aligned, and the text are better. They are better, but it's not looking like what we want. So let's still go ahead. And then next, accordion body, the background. This class, I added it here to, where is it? Accordion body. Okay, this is the first class. The content inside, you can see there's a div here. It has a content. WhatsApp Business Solutions gives you something. The content inside now, and apparently the content inside the background is set to white. So I'm going to change that color as well. I'm trying to achieve, what they have here. By all means, once you click, the content inside the background color is also set to, come on, why is it not clicking? The background color, can you see, is also the same. So I'm trying to achieve, although I couldn't achieve it totally because it's just bootstrap, but I still achieved a bit. So I'm trying to set the background color of each of the nested divs. When you click on this nested div as well, I'm trying to change the background color to, let me open it, to the same color of the section, the background color of the section, which is, all right, I set it to this color. That is what we had for the whole section. Next, the button, background, accordion button. Let us check our HTML. What is accordion button? Okay, accordion button. Okay, and that is this guy that helps us to toggle. That's the button. So I guess I tried styling, but I'm not sure if that was successful. So I tried styling the buttons, because in the original, let me see. In the original, okay, the button has a color of green. So I think I tried styling it as well, because I don't like this just black arrow. So I gave it a background color, font size, and font family. I save, and I believe that should affect everything at the top here. Remember, this is the button. Inside the button, we have some text. So I'm trying to change the background color of that one as well, increase the font size, and change the font family. So let's see if we are able to do that. All right, it actually works. Can you see that the inner text now, the background color has also changed successfully? Thank God. And the main one as well, the background color has also changed. And okay, we just have this button here, which we will not worry about changing. So I think it's kind of better now. It's bolder, unlike what we had before. So let's see. Okay, I think that is just all we would do for this section. It is not totally looking like it, but it's closer. It's closer. Aside for these icons that are different, it's kind of closer. So all right, I think theirs is just bolder. And the reason why it's bolder is because the font family they use is different from what I'm using. So if you want to go for more fancy fonts, you can actually do that. So the font family is different. That is why it's like this. Okay, so it's open by default, and this is it here. So when I reload my page again, it's always open by default. That's why we had that space. All right, so in the next video now, we're going to move to the next section. We're getting close to the end of the page already, and this one is very simple. There's no much work. So see you in the next video.